Hey, Matt here with the Leadership Perspective, and today we're going to talk about how to grab our attention back and regain our focus. In today's society, our biggest distraction sits in our pocket at all times. It's really our cell phone, and it's practically a limitless source of distractions. For myself, I know that I have to work from preventing myself from wasting time on fantasy football or on Instagram or just going through my emails. Time is the most valuable thing that we have, and so we don't want to waste it. So how do we stop ourselves from scrolling through our Instagram feed or looking up funny dog videos over and over and over again? Well, the first step is we have to acknowledge that looking through your phone is a habit. It's something that we don't necessarily think about doing all the time. It can come automatically. Charles Duhigg has a book called The Power of Habit, in which he explains habits into a three-step process: a cue, a routine, and a reward. The cue explains what triggers us to start the routine. The routine is what we actually do, or the habit, and the reward is what our brain gets in response. Every time we got a notification for our Instagram or our Facebook, our brain gets a little bit of dopamine, which helps to create a craving for that particular thing. The next thing you know, you're going to be on your Instagram checking for responses and notifications, even if you didn't post anything. In the book, he would recommend replacing your phone habit with a new one. But unfortunately, in today's society, a lot of us need to use our phone for work, whether it's emails, contacting our clients through text messages, or social media marketing. So what I've done is I've created a 5-step process to refocus your mind on what you need to focus on in your life. This refocusing system has a 5-step process. So let's hop right into it. Step 1, create clearly defined goals. Now, long-term goals are extremely important, but we want to create short-term goals, daily goals, and task lists that we can create for ourselves. This will provide our brains with things that we can refocus to once we created our new habit. I'd also recommend prioritizing your task list so your brain knows what to do next once you're ready to refocus. Step 2, we want to make sure that we manage our time effectively. To do this, I have 3 things that I recommend scheduling. First, schedule in your tasks that you want to complete and how much time you're going to give yourself to complete it. Once you're done, make sure you move on to the next thing. Next, you're going to want to schedule in some breaks. Every 1 to 2 hours, schedule in 5 minutes to help you refocus. Lastly, make sure to schedule in any work that you need to do on your phone for specific parts of the day. That way you don't have to get your brain to pull yourself back to your phone habit as much. Step 3, we need to identify our specific phone habit loop. The first thing you're going to want to do is identify what applications you use. Next, make sure to identify what order that you go through all the applications. And finally, which is the most challenging part, is to figure out what triggers you to start going to your phone. Are you bored? Are you feeling stressed? Or did you just complete something and you didn't have something for your brain to move to next? You got to figure that out. So make sure you take notes. Step number 4, it's time to create a new habit out of our old phone habit. We're going to use our old phone habit as the cue to create a new routine. So anytime you catch yourself on your phone, you're going to trigger yourself to ask yourself 2 questions and 1 action. The first question you're going to ask yourself is, am I on a scheduled break? Yes or no? If you're not on a break right now, it's time to refocus back to the next task. The second question is, what is the best use of my time right now? To help yourself out with this, it could be to go back to your previous task that you were doing, or to take a look at your task list and figure out what's best for you to focus on in this next moment. The last step is to use something called the 5-second rule, which Mel Robbins talks about in her book. Essentially what you do is you count down from 5 all the way down to 1, and then as soon as you hit 1, you jump right back into whatever you're going to do. It helps to get yourself to stop thinking and refocus on what is most important. Lastly, we're going to give ourselves a reward. For example, we could check something off our to-do list, which would help us feel good. Or we could rock out to our favorite song for a minute. Once you figured out what you want to use as a reward, administer that reward after 15 minutes of refocusing on your task. Make sure to take notes to see if that reward worked for you, and don't be afraid to change that up. Step number 5. Let's track our progress and make adjustments if necessary. Once we start to track how well this new habit has worked for us, and it could take up to 21 days to create a new habit, we're going to want to make sure we make the adjustments, especially with the rewards, based off of what works for you. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and comment below about what your habit loop is specifically for your phone. If you want more information about leadership skills, make sure to take my online survey on the link below and also subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.